Hey guys, it's Alex again for Trigger. Back for episode 2, where I'm going to continue with the strategy and decision making analysis in PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. I love it when you get flight paths like the one in this game. There are just so many options for safe looting locations across the entire top half of the map. The only risky bit is going to be getting a car, and for a flight path like this one, I would recommend jumping to the stretches of road northwest of Milter Power, west of Milter along the coast, and even north of Prim, as you shouldn't get too contested jumping to any of these areas. But in this game, you're going to see me favour jumping early, just so I get that little extra looting time. Even though I could safely loot these buildings here, it's just not worth it. I want to jump straight in the car to guarantee that I'm the first person to a much better loot location further from the plane. I'm almost certainly the first person here, so I'll take the few extra seconds to hide my car from anyone driving up behind me, and then I'll start by looting the outermost buildings first to make it even harder for anyone that might come up and contest me. If someone does sneak up on foot, they're then only going to have easy access to the buildings that I've already looted. So I finished looting here in very comfortable time, and the blue circle is just starting to close in. Don't worry, you didn't miss anything, as nobody came to contest me. A good little habit that I've been getting into is picking up a gas can while I go, to make sure that my car won't ever run empty later into the game. It's small edges like these that require very little effort, and will save you a death or two in the long run. You can see that I've got a good solid amount of gear, the M16 for medium to long range, and the shotgun for up close, as well as more than enough meds to take me into the late game. This is a perfect start, and I realise this and don't need to hunt for more loot, so now I can just prioritise getting hard cover and good positioning for the following circles. I'm not really looking for fights at this stage of the game, but I'm also not going to shy away from fragging someone that's way out of position in the middle of the road. So as long as I don't overcommit to this, it's a fairly safe engagement to take. What am I doing? That was a very stupid and risky move to make. I knew that he would be set up on the hill waiting for me, as I gave him plenty of time while looking at the map in the hut. I really should have just jumped in the car as soon as I lost him in the trees, and scouted out my next location while driving, as the reward for sticking around and getting into a fair gunfight at this stage of the game is just definitely not worth it. Remember that the goal here is to consistently get high finishes and improve our win rate. The first 3 circles are just so large that hugging the edge of them is the low percentage play. These huts allow you to safely play towards the center of the play zone, giving you excellent cover, 360 degree vision, and continued access to your car. If you aren't already using them, you should. So I've just been running down the clock, and the next circle has popped, and I've seen no activity at this hut further to the southwest, making it an easy decision to safely move ahead of everyone else that will shortly be forced in by the blue. I continue to force the fight with this dude in the car, which is probably not the best move, as I neither have the optic for it or the chance to loot him even if I get the kill. But a small takeaway from this is that you do want to preemptively open the door, so that if someone does challenge you, you can take the fight to them in the open, preventing them from getting up close next to the hut. If you're interested, you can check out episode 1 for better gameplay examples of this. I'll put a link in the description below. The play zone is now small enough that I'll make my next moves on foot, so I'll just run down the clock here and then play the edge of the blue zone while moving into the next circle. Now this is where the game really starts to get interesting. We are down to 21 players, and the size of the play zone is going to start forcing most people out of hard cover. I get out of the hut to scout thoroughly around my position and give myself enough time in case I have to take a fight as I move into the play zone. When you are in a position where you could get shot from a wide range of angles, put any cover that you do have behind you so that you don't get shot in the back while looking in the opposite direction. And also make sure that you are always moving so that you are much harder to hit. I'm trying to play at the edge of the blue zone as much as I can, reducing the area in which I can get shot from, but I do have to balance that with having enough time to finish a gunfight, which seems very likely to happen when moving to the next safe zone. A minute and a half is not a lot of time, so it's best to start moving now so that I can run from cover to cover and not be too pressured by the blue. That's exactly why you want to give yourself plenty of time. I had such a positional advantage over my opponent who felt pressured to run that long distance right in the open. It ended up being an easy fight even though I whiffed a bunch of those shots. When it gets down to around 10 to 15 players, try not to be too stagnant behind one tree. Use ridges and different trees as cover to scout for enemies, which will not only give you the chance to be the one that gets the jump on them, it also gets you the information you need to appropriately move towards the next play zone. What I'm doing here is trying to get control of a larger area of the play zone. I'm running parallel to the next safe zone with my back to where I've just cleared. This then enables me to double back to where I originally was, knowing that it is very unlikely that I will get shot from the side of the circle that I just pushed into. The aim is to try and create 1v1 battles while also reducing the chance of getting shot in the side. With that kill, it's down to a 1v2, and I know that from the sound that one of the enemies is over to the southwest there. Ideally we spot the remaining opponent first, or even better let them duke it out before we make our next move. But my instinct is telling me that the other guy will be somewhere up on the hill to the west, so I take the opportunity to move into a better position within the safe zone. This is where I want to be patient. The play zone is tiny, and I'm in a really good position. I just want to wait for a clear shot, or for them to start fighting between each other. As soon as I hear them fight, it's time to move. In situations like this, you just have to take the fight. And I'm lucky enough that I get the headshot there, which gives me just enough time to get behind cover. Not gonna lie, that was a super satisfying win, and it's games like these that really keep me coming back for more. So thanks for joining me for episode 2, and as always, if you have any questions or feedback, just leave them in the comments below, and I'll either get to them there or try to address them in a following video. But until next time, cheers guys!